Recently, I haven't been keeping up with Cartoon Network or pretty much any form of programs. TV is just dying for me. I just don't have any interest because of YouTube, Netflix, and just so many more streaming options. It's just hard for me to sit down and watch TV and sit through 10 or so minutes of commercials. And I know that sounds really lazy, but it's just because of the luxury YouTube and Netflix provide. But recently, Cartoon Network announced a new show called Infinity Train. Now, not many of these new Cartoon Network shows pique my interest because a lot of them just look so generic and uninspired. For example, a show like Apple and Onion. But when I see Infinity Train, it looks great and just so refreshing. Owens Dennis, the director of the show. In the past, he has worked on The Regular Show, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. And before that, he worked on Galactatron First Contract, which was a short animation. I just recently watched it and it's really unique. But let's focus on Infinity Train. The main premise around the show is centered around the main character, Tula. She is trapped in this Infinity Train. And to start off, we're just dropped in with no context at all. We also see that she has this mysterious number written on her hand, and with no explanation. But what we do know is that she just wants to find a way home. And she's joined by One, who is a little robot companion who seems to have multiple personalities.
Yay! Yay us! Yes!
No, Nas.
The show is set inside of this Infinity Train, which is a series of carts of all sizes and shapes. Every cart has their own puzzle to it, and Tulip and One have to find their way out of each cart. The first cart that we see, the puzzle is simple enough. We don't know how many carts she's been through at this point, but we do know that she's been on the train for at least a week.
I've been trapped on this train for a week.
For the first puzzle, One split into two pieces to balance himself on a meter, and then the door opens. The door would lead them to a fart cart, which all they had to do for that one was just walk through the cart, and then they would move on to
Welcome, Tulip the Literate, to Corginia!
which is a land full of corgis, which you would think is all fun and games, but the land seems to be controlled by this shadow monster. Tulip and Atticus, the leader of the corgis, confront the shadow monster, which ends up just to be a little spider, at least at first. But then we see the real monster. I don't know really how to describe this creature. It looks like a bundle of cords, but the monster would eventually flee the area. And then we get our first clue to what's going on with Tulip's hand, which projects a number. After the encounter with the mysterious monster, the number goes from 53 to 49. And that's pretty much all we got. All we can do from this point is just speculate. What I think is after each encounter with one of these monsters, the counter will go down. And once the counter reaches 0, maybe she'll be able to go home. But just from this short animation, the show looks great. I just love the art style so much. Cartoon Network also announced that the show will be coming out in 2019, which is kind of sad to me because I really want more of this show. But it's fine. But I seriously can't wait for the premiere of this show. This show is something different and unique. This is what I want to see from Cartoon Network. And one more thing, I really hope this show has a long-running story to it. Alright, so that'll do it for this video, and if you guys have not seen the short animation, I will link it down in the description. It's only 8 minutes, so I really advise to watch it. It's so good. And again, tell me in the comments if this show interests you, or if you're going to watch it when it premieres. And as always, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and comment your thoughts. And subscribe, you little